Hey, welcome back to my channel. So the topic of this video today is why your webcomic is unsuccessful. So the first thing that makes your comic unsuccessful is your story ideas. Now, to say it very plainly, but with no offense, it could be that your story is immature. Now, how do you define an immature storyline? Basically, there is no plot, it's not engaging, or it's just messy overall. I would suggest you go look at other people's webcomics and how they do well with their stories and how they engage their audience with their stories, and just try not to do a webcomic because you think you will like it. You have to make sure the people who are reading it would like it as well. So also ask for opinions from maybe your friends or your audience. Tropes are really helpful to get started on your webcomics as well. Although basically the pros of tropes is that you will get to jump on the hype train of some people who are invested in tropes like this. At the same time, there's tons and tons of people who are doing the same trope, and you have to make sure your story stands out basically. Now the next thing is the art style. So again, plainly, with no offense, it could be that the art style is immature. Now, what defines an immature art style? It could be that coloring or the line art is messy, and this art style thing is very subjective, I would say, but I think it would do you good if you look at other people's webcomics and see what kind of art style gets them the views. When your art isn't conveying the story, it leaves viewers very, confused. So I would just say you have to do the legwork of sharpening your art skills, your fundamentals, to make sure you can at least try to convey emotions and what the character is doing. A good thing to counteract your lack of skills is to look for reference. You should reference everything that you have no knowledge of, and that includes backgrounds, character anatomies, or even perspective. Using reference can really help save time working on your comic, and also it can help make your comic look more professional. So moving on, I would say maybe the layout of your comic makes your webcomic unsuccessful. So when you look at a successful webcomic, you will see how well and how engaging that one episode is. They do the pacing really well, the framing, the dialogues, they're placed very neatly to the point where the readers don't have a hard time reading it. The thing with comic layouts is that it takes a lot of experience and time and practice to be able to perfect the best layout for your story, basically. I struggled with comic layouts for a very long time, and when I look back to my old episodes of Roommates, I cringe basically, because it was so bad and I didn't understand how my old viewers can read through that. So when my skills got a bit more better, I went back to the older episodes and kind of just revamped it basically. I would say there is a benefit in revamping your comic. Of course, I'm not saying you have to revamp all your episodes. I'm just saying the first few episodes really do matter, because the first few episodes are what's going to capture a potential new audience. So my final point is that you are not doing enough promotion to help boost your webcomics. You could go into webcomic groups on Facebook or Reddit or Amino even, and just show what you have right now. Hey, I have this webcomic, feel free to check it out. And if they don't, it's totally fine. At least you did your part of the legwork in showing what others you have to offer, and who knows, people might actually be interested. And I guess you could do sponsored ads, which is basically paying Facebook, Instagram, or like whatever Google, other platforms that you use to basically pay for promotion. So yeah, that's about it, I guess. If you guys enjoyed the video, feel free to like, subscribe. If you like what I do, feel free to support me on Patreon. I usually post work in progress, illustration downloads, and I also do behind the scenes and shoutouts. Or you can also support me on Ko-fi. Feel free to check out my comics, links in the description. And till then, I shall see you in the next video. See ya!